Hello and welcome back to Inter Miami Live. Hope you're all doing well and you're looking forward to a good few games in today's episode. Again, want to say thank you for your continued support so far on this new series. You guys seem to be really enjoying it. All the comments seem to be really positive and things like that. A lot of you don't seem to be too annoyed, despite the fact I'm very ignorant to the MLS and how it works and American sports in general, really. So apologies for that, but you guys seem to be helping me along the way, explaining things and helping me with some player pronunciations that I keep getting wrong and things like that. But you guys are really good, so if you can keep subscribing to the channel and dropping likes on the video, that would be massively appreciated today as we are taking on Cincinnati. And for this game, I have been an absolute fool, all right? I've been an idiot, and potentially we could lose this game because of my own incompetence and issues. Now, you do remember last episode where I said, okay, we've got some players in the squad who haven't been playing too many first-team games. We need to get them playing for the B team so they get some match fitness into them. And we scheduled some friendlies, and that was all good. And the first friendly's coming up, actually. In fact, it's today, the 18th of March. If we go to the development centre, go to Inter Miami 2, click on the overview. No, we want fixtures, sorry, of course. Storm FC. We're playing Storm FC today. So all the players that I said are available to play in this game are going to play Storm FC. The issue with this is I just thought that they wouldn't play that game. So obviously kicking off at the same time, I thought I'd have the full team available for me to select and things like that. That's not the case, apparently, according to Football Manager. Because usually when I have this kind of overlap with fixtures and things like that, I can just pick whoever I want to pick, as far as I was aware. Today, that's not the case, because half our team is in Cincinnati, and half of our team are still in Miami, ready to play Storm FC. So if we have a look at the lineup today, you'll see that all our substitutes pretty much are ineligible to play, as are pretty much everyone who's in the reserves at the moment. Which means that once we swap Pellegrini over with Kisveta, we only have Carranza available on the bench to us right now. So what we have to do is go to, well, what I'm going to do is to just make it a little bit easier because there's no real difference in there, is pick unpicked positions, get my assistant manager to do it, and essentially what Football Manager does, if you don't have enough players available, it just creates some like fake players, if you get what I'm trying to say. So we've got to play these fake players, essentially, if we want to bring people off the bench. So we've got to rely on our starting 11 today and only make one substitute, and that's Carranza if you want to start the game, I've got to say. Everyone else is looking a little bit tired. The thing that makes this worse is I can't pull these players out of that game now, as far as I'm aware. The thing is, it says these players already involved in another match today, although that other match hasn't kicked off yet. So it's a little bit frustrating. And what that does mean is they have to play. I can't stop them from playing that game now. Likewise, I can't stop these players from playing this game. And then if you look at the fixture list, in 3 days' time, we're playing New York City FC, and everyone is going to be absolutely knackered for that. So well done, Tom. Round of applause for me. Clap that, because I've made an absolute massive error there. On top of all of that as well, we do have one injury just in between episodes when I was just simulating through a few days, playing through a few days just to get to the Cincinnati game. We did sustain an injury too, if we can find the injury tab. There we go. Current injuries. Diego Palacios, who has pulled his hamstring, is going to be out for a month or so with that, unfortunately. He looked like a very decent player from the 15 minutes we saw last episode. So we'll have to get into the side next episode, probably. That's what we're going to have to do. So we can't even rotate left backs right now, or at least with very good ones, because Palacios is injured. So brilliant stuff. This is the team we've got to go for because we have no other choice. As much as I wanted to rotate the team to prepare for that game against New York City FC, we can't rotate the team. So this is the lineup. We've got Robles in goal with a backline of Sweat, Long, Figal and Powell. Aloha and Trapp in the middle with Pizarro and Guin. And now I've been told how to say this. Now, the thing is, I just can't quite get it right. Kisveta. I think it's just Kisveta. Maybe that's the easiest way to say it. Kisveta. We'll stick with that. But apparently I'm saying Agudelo perfectly, which is fantastic. So thank you to everyone in the comment section for helping me out with my pronunciations. This is the team then. This is the team. Let's try and take on Cincinnati today and hopefully not get too tired out there. Oh, that's going to be the biggest issue, isn't it? Now, we are still unbeaten, obviously, so far this season, as you have seen. I have a tunnel interview from some journalists who said that your team selection offered little in the way of surprises today. there's no surprises in this team right now. It would make us slight favourites apparently though, so I'm prepared to make sure we start really well. Are you hopeful that Victor Aloa carries his recent good form into the match? He's been playing well, so I expect to see him keep it up. Right then, kickoff is upon us. Cincinnati, now they're not doing quite as well as us this season. What I want to try and do though is just sort this thing out here. Can we bring this down a little bit? There we go. Extend. Oh, okay, I can't extend that right now. I want to bring the table down a little bit so you can see more of the table and the stats and things like that. Right now, as it stands, Cincinnati having one shot. The table, obviously, we're top of our conference so far from the 3 wins and 1 draw. This is obviously the second draw right now because the game is live right now. So it's pretty good. Although it's not quite good now because the Cincinnati have just scored a goal. Okay, let's watch this on replays and see what happens. It's a free kick. It's a terrible way to concede, and that's really poor defending as well. Really poor defending. Cincinnati take an early lead in the game today, and will they bring our early unbeaten run to a close? I don't know. They're playing quite I want to say they're playing quite a defensive formation there, I've got to say. They've got some players very deep and 3 attacking players. How has that gone in the back of a net? It was going to VAR, but I've got to say we are not great from set pieces. Now that's been disallowed by VAR for, I presume there's an offside in there somewhere or something like that. I'm not entirely sure, but we are really not very good at defending set pieces, which is a bit of a shame. Trap loses possession, but does win it back once again and plays it into a lower into Kisiveta. Powell on the ball. Can he get the cross into him? He does. Pizarro's there at the back post. And very similar to his goal in last episode, his first of the season. His second of the season is very similar, heading in from the far post, which is great to see. Good bit of build-up play from Kisiveta into Powell. Powell to put the ball into the middle. Great cross as well, and Pizarro rises like a salmon and putting that in the back of the net, which is great to see. Just before half-time, we bring ourselves back level with Cincinnati. So I'm very pleased with that. Good response from the boys. Can we see what's going on, actually, when I think about this? If we look at North America, we can't see any of the games going on. NASL, what's this? NACL. Oh, that's North American Champions League, isn't it? Friendlies, that's what we're looking for. At least Inter Miami 2 are doing well. They're beating Storm FC. We'll keep an eye on that, shall we? Because that'll be interesting to see how the other players that should be in this game right now. I'll make sure to cancel friendlies, all right? When I know what's happening, I'll make sure to cancel friendlies like that in the future. Maybe not bulking them all at the same time. Maybe that's a bad idea. I do think we have another clash, actually. I think we're playing New England Revolution soon or something like that, and we have another clash. So that's something to watch out for. As Agudelo gets on the ball, takes the shot, can't score. Trap, his shot was absolutely terrible. So Cincinnati let off there a little bit. The highlight does continue, though. Cincinnati look to bring the ball forward into number 11 for them, who scored. Now, this Villarreal guy, he looks dangerous. He's got a good free kick on him and clearly can score some goals as well. That's only his first of the season. Defensively today, we've not been good enough, really. Defensively today, we've made far too many mistakes, that being one of them. We can't defend from set pieces. It's not great. The thing is, though, we are up on the stats. You know, we've had more shots on target, way more possession as well. Let's go to attacking. I should probably change that right at the start. I should probably go attacking right from the off rather than sticking on balanced. I think we've proven ourselves now to be a very good attacking side. Powell's picked up an injury, and that is not good. Agudelo's not scored today, so we're going to take him off. He's not played particularly well, so Carranza will come on. Powell, though, we literally cannot swap him out with anyone because no one else can play right back. So he's got to stay. Not even these crappy greyed out players who aren't real can play there. So we've got to leave him on the pitch for now, which isn't great. It's not the best option. Today's episode has not started off brilliantly, has it really? We're about to lose our first game of the season to FC Cincinnati. Although, a highlight coming through right now, going on the ball into Sweat. Sweat puts the ball forward towards Kisiveta, who can put it back across the net. I think he might be offside, though, as he puts it in the back of the net. It's going to VAR, and I think that is going to be offside, unfortunately. So an offside goal for both sides so far. Figal wins the header, though, and Kisiveta on the ball. Powell making his way forward with a bit of an injury, gets tackled, but Kisiveta back on the ball. Can he get it forward again? He can. Can he get the cross into the middle? No, Powell can, though, and it's cleared only as far as Aloha, who shoots, and it somehow goes in the back of a net. We are the masters of late goals. How many late goals have you seen from us to win games or pick up some points and things like that? I'm not sure what the keeper's doing there, though. I feel like their keepers let themselves down. Powell's cross cleared, and Gunn plays it to Aloha, and the keeper fumbles that one massively. He won't want to see that one again, as Aloha picks up his first goal of the season on the 89th minute for us. And is there chance for a winner? Aloha into the middle. Kisletter scores it. Please don't tell me that one's offside as well. I think the assistant referee isn't moving. It's going to VAR. We should have clinched victory here today. At least we haven't lost. The unbeaten run is continuing. A 2-2 draw means that we stay top of the Eastern Conference, although Atlanta United, after 4 games, are only 1 point behind us. So if they win their game in hand, they'll go ahead of us. But to be right up there after 5 games, I'm very pleased with. We are unbeaten as well. It's good going. The thing is, though, I feel like it's about to change. Now, Powell is out for 6 to 9 days, so might miss 2 games, actually, which is really annoying. Post-match press conference, assistant manager, you can do this one because I want to have a quick look at what else has been going on. Okay, so let's have a quick look at what happened in that Inter Miami 2 game then. We won 2-0. De La Garza scored both goals. He's the replacement right back, so at least he scored some goals. That's quite good to see. He can come in for Powell and hopefully score some goals in the next game against New York City FC. The thing is, we've got 3 days off before we take them on, and everyone is looking really tired. So we're just going to highlight everyone and go to training. We can't do rest for everyone right now. I think we have to just separate it out. So we go to that first starting 11, and we go to training, rest for a day. Just have a day off from training. Everyone else, can we do rest for them? Training? No. Okay, we've got to go to everyone who's not played or has played a game, is probably below 90% condition. Maybe that's the thing we have to do. Training, rest, 1 day. Okay, everyone's having a day off from training. They can all go just rest up, hopefully be okay for the New York City FC game, because I just feel like everyone's going to be shattered for that game and we will get shafted by New York City, unfortunately, who we need to be beating. They are also setting the pace so far. They're on 9 points from 5 games. They've lost 2 actually, won 3, so maybe we do have a decent shout and a chance of winning against them. That would be quite good to see. New York, though, are a side that I think, since joining the MLS, I thought they were going to be really good when they joined the MLS, but they don't think they've been amazing. They're not Atlanta United, for example. We do have a pre-match press conference, though, for this game against New York City FC, so we will attend this one. How do you think the gap of just 3 days since playing Cincinnati has affected your players? I've got a lot of tired players who have very little time. Okay, let's have a little quick chat. At this point, something happens with this microphone. All right, not a clue. Not a clue what happens. It's done it a few times where it's glitched out, but it's never quite glitched out like this. I mean, I'll show you a timeline of the video editing right now. Okay, you'll see normal sound waves. What's that about? It just jumps from nothing to blank and then goes to something quite big. And, well, what you're about to listen to is I've not done anything. Like, I've literally not done anything. This is all this microphone's fault. I think I need to get a new one. And it just, you're going to have to put up with this for another 20 minutes or so. So get used to it. Laugh now, but get used to it. I've got a lot of tired players who have very little time to recover. Ronnie DeLea, or whatever he's called, the manager of New York City FC. He's not my Christmas. I'm going to start some beef, okay? I don't like him. I'm going to start some beef. He's not my Christmas car list. Put it that way. All your hectic schedule, see you field a weakened team against New York City FC. I think, a good chance to show, because we are going to have to rotate, okay? We are going to have to rotate. I feel there's a good opportunity for certain players to play and impress. That's what we'll say. Try and encourage some players to play up. There's been a lot of speculation this week surrounding the future of Gary Smith, with pundits critical and some fans apparently impatient with the Nashville. He's had 5 games in charge of Nashville, lad. That's a bit harsh, isn't it? I mean, fair play. They've lost all of them apart from 1 draw, and they've only scored 2 goals this season. Again, I'm going to start some beef. It must be tough for Smith if you aren't getting the results. What do you expect? That's the job. Because I've been doing well. You know, I've been winning games and things like that, so the board are happy with me. I'm going to try and start some beef with every manager now, pretty much. I think that's going to be something we can try and do. We've now picked up a couple of injuries suddenly. Powell's out, of course, Platios is out, and Jay Chapman is out with a fractured lower leg. He's out 2 to 4 months. Luckily for us, he's not that good, so we don't have to play him too much. Apparently, what is this? Again, more weird MLS rules. Okay. Jay Chapman has picked up a nasty injury today and can be placed on either the disabled list or the season-ending injury list. Right. By placing him on the disabled list, he will become unavailable to play in the MLS for the next 6 matches starting from today. His space on the roster, should he take one, will be freed up, so he can be replaced. However, his salary will still count towards the cap. I don't really see the point of that, if I'm honest with you. It's not season-ending injury, so we're not going to put him on that either to free up a place for someone else. No, I don't really understand what's the point of that, because I'm not going to bring someone else in because I don't use him anyway, and he still counts towards the salary cap, and the salary cap is maxed out as well. So I don't really feel that that's something I want to be doing. I'll ignore that. If you're in the comment section, please tell me why I'd want to do that. Well, I don't know why I'm saying that, because I know why you'd want to do that. Because if you've got players in your squad that need to, you need to get someone else in to replace them, and you've got room in your salary cap, you bring someone else in, but we don't have any room and there's no one to replace him. Right, we need to put some players back onto the bench of this one then. I'd like to have my defenders through to attackers on there. So, defenders, who is a good... In fact, let's just go into this to look at the stars. Let's look at some stars quickly. We want Pellegrini on the bench, obviously. Let's get him on there as sub-6. Hinderman's got to be on there, sub-5. Lewis Morgan on there, sub-4. Torres and Lillard can get on there as well, sub-3. Sub-2, and we want Del Garza playing on the right-back position instead of Powell, don't we, of course, which means that we also need to get another right-back or left-back on there. Ambrose can go on there at left-back. There we go. There's the bench all sorted out. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Right, Aaron Long is looking tired. Do we give a debut today to Torres? All right, I'm not a fan of Torres, and this is literally because he's 34 years old and 2.5-star current ability and takes up a huge chunk of the wage budget. That's why I don't like him. Nothing against him personally, not a clue what he's like, but I just don't like him because he's old, not that good, and doesn't have very good wages. So actually, how good is Lillard? To be fair, young, as good as the other guy, can play with a left foot as well, which is quite handy. Torres can't play with a left foot, can he? So we won't put Torres on. We'll put Lillard on instead. So that's the first change there, to sort of rotate things a little bit to keep some players a little bit more fresh. To be fair, they don't actually look too bad. So I won't change things up too much. But Agudelo, who is now currently 4.5-star current ability, I'm not quite sure where that's come from. He wasn't that before. But he's not scored in 2 or 3 games. It's time to give Carranza a go and start him and see if he can score today against New York City FC. Submit that team. Come on then. Ambrose is going to get a number as well, apparently. Apparently he didn't have one before, so you can be number 25. Submit numbers. There we go. New York City FC, you're going down today, lads. You're going down. Dressing room. We're going to say to the players passionately, let's give the fans something to cheer about today. That never works, does it? In the absence of Alves Powell, how hard will it be without his services? It'd be nice to have him for this one, but we'll have to deal with it. No, we won't say that. We'll say, obviously, I'd rather have him available, but I believe the team I've selected today. Let's bring the confidence up of those players who've got to replace other players. De La Garza, hopefully have a good game today. He scored 2 in a friendly, so if he can score against New York City twice today, that'd be fantastic, as well as New York, with an early chance, do manage to score. So that's not really what we want to see at all. That was it, I've got to say. That's a terrible start to game, unfortunately, as Gray puts the ball into the middle. And we just don't deal with this defensively. I mean, I don't know what Robles is doing there. He goes for a dramatic dive and just takes his time to get up. What is that about, lad? So far in today's game, New York are dominating us. 7 shots to 1 shot. This is perhaps the first time we really tested. Kiseveta into the area, though. Shoot should have really squared that, I've got to say. He got a little bit selfish with that one. I'm not too pleased with that. What we need to be careful of, though, is complacency in the next few games. Now, because we've had such a good start to the season, I think the players could be getting a little bit complacent. We might need to guard against that somehow, and potentially complacency is creeping in today's game. Carranza into Kiseveta, who may have just won as a penalty. It's going to be VAR. I'm not quite sure what it was for, but we've been given the penalty. Either way, that's great. We'll get ourselves back into the game, hopefully, as Nguyen hopefully slots this one home into the bottom corner. A perfect penalty. His second of the season, which I feel like is his second penalty of the season. So back on level terms with New York City FC. Great to see that penalty go in the back of it like that. Right. Hopefully then we just sort of settle down to a rhythm now. We've started to work our way back into the game. We had a terrible start to it, I've got to say, in terms of stats and things like that. But we're now massively in control of possession. We're getting ourselves back in there in the shots and things like that.
We need to just take our chances. We need to, well, first of all, we need to build our time. We need to take our time with the possession and then create our chances. Try not let New York City get forward easily like that, and they have the opportunities. That's what we don't want to see happen today as we approach our time 1-1. I've got to say, I will take a 1-1 draw with New York City FC. They're a good side. We're down on players at the moment, I've got to say, and condition a little bit. I think New York didn't have a game 3 days ago, so they're going to be a little bit fitter than us as well. Looking at the player conditions, actually. To be fair, actually, I think we look on the board a little bit fitter, but maybe their fitter players are more fitter than not. I don't know. It looks pretty even right now. We need to work our way back into the game. Let's go up to attacking for the rest of the game. Let's go to show some passion out there. Tactically, strikers aren't scoring at the moment, which isn't great. Agudelo can come back on for Carranza. I'm not quite sure why Agudelo just not got match sharpness, because he's been playing games. I don't understand why it's not up there. Lewis Morgan's going to come on for Pizarro, who's not played brilliantly either, I've got to say. And then I want to bring Hinderman on for Will Trapp, who's not played great either. So 3 subs at the same time, slightly risky because changing a lot at the same time can affect the team out there. Let's get creative when we can do. We've got some more shots on the board, but we're just not... The second half's been boring, obviously, because nothing's happened. I don't think there's been a single highlight in the second half. We are the masters of late goals, though. We've scored a few of them so far this season. And can we score another one now? Free kick from Nguyen is blocked by the keeper. Goes out for a corner. That was a great free kick. An even better save, I've got to say. Morgan with the corner. Can we get ahead on this and make it 2-1 right at death? Morgan's corner coming in. Agudelo can't score it. Figal on the ball. Loses possession a little bit. Figal into a lower. Hinderman a lower. Back to Figal. Come on, lads. Let's get this forward. Unfortunately, we can't. The clock ticks down. It's another draw. But I've got to say, it's another clean sheet. Not a clean sheet. It's another game unbeaten. 3 wins, 3 draws. If you told me that right at the start of the save, I'd have bitten your hand off that. Post-match press conference. Do you agree that Jesus Medina was the best player on the pitch today? Not a clue. He got a goal though, didn't he? So maybe he was quite good. I thought he played well, but no better than 5 or 6 others out there. No one really played well in that game, I don't think. Inter Miami have scored a high proportion of their goals in the later stages of either half. Can you offer any insight as to why you're finding such success in these periods? If I knew, I'd tell you. But I don't know. We make a point to remind the players the match is 90 minutes long and the decisive moment come late on. I mean, that doesn't really make sense, does it? Because I don't tell them that, do I? But that's what's happened in the end. 1-1 with New York City FC. We've got New England coming up. Also a friendly there. Now, we're going to get rid of that friendly, or at least rearrange it. Because we want to save some players, don't we? We want to keep some players fitter. Right. So what we need to do then is go into... We don't want them playing, obviously, at the same time as us. Once again, we have to mess things up. So, fixtures, Boca Raton FC. Can we cancel that somehow? Oh, can I not cancel that? Please, why can't I cancel cannot cancel selected friendly? Okay. What we need to do instead then... So I think every player that's got reserve next to them is available for the next game. So I just need to find them all and just make sure we don't play. Cancel all their involvement in the next game or so. Squads available for Inter Miami until match fit. Untick that 90 minutes. And now they shouldn't be playing for Inter Miami on that game again in that friendly. So fingers crossed we actually have players available for us against New England. In the meantime, do we want to think about maybe switching formations up ever so slightly? Just because Carranza and Agudelo aren't playing at the moment. We've got a few players on international duty. I didn't realise that. Now, I don't want to switch formation because it's obviously working very well. But it's just something to bear in mind that we do have 2 striker formations available to us should we want to use them. I don't think we really need to use this because we're playing so well. We don't concede many goals, we score lots of goals. I don't think we really need to use this formation with the defensive midfielder in there. So it sort of switches between a counter-attacking formation if we want to use that. But I think we've worked so well with this one so far. We just sort of stick with the 4-2-3-1 control possession, I think. I think that's maybe the main thing that we do going forward. How long are players on international duty for quite some time? They're going to miss a key game against New England and a key game against DC United. That's a little worrying, I've got to say, going forward. Hopefully they play very well on international break, don't get injured, and come back better players. Hopefully Agudelo will score quite a few goals and things like that. That'll be good to see. Right. Inter Miami take on New England. That's great. Inter Miami to take on a team of friendlies, but no players should be playing in that, which is great to see. Fingers crossed. LA Galaxy have just beaten Vancouver Whitecaps. That doesn't really affect us there in the Western Conference. LA Galaxy, though, played 8 games. They're currently top of their conference by 5 points. So Galaxy look like a decent side. Chicharito, completely forgot about that. He is a signing a half, I've got to say. What a player Chicharito is for this particular league. Atlanta United and DC United, they're 2 big teams that we're looking out for. Coming up now, though, is the New England Revolution game. This should be an exciting one then. So we've seen LAFC beat Dallas and Kansas City beat Nashville. Nashville still losing. Has that guy been sacked yet? Gary Smith not been sacked yet. I hope he does, because I've started the rivalry off with him now, and I can talk some absolute rubbish about him in the media once again. That would be quite good. Right then, the issue that we have now is De La Garza is also on international duty, and Powell is... he's not fit enough, is he? He's just not fit enough. Have we got another right back? Anyone that can play right back? Please. Figal can kind of play at right back. So can Long, apparently, who's on international duty. It gets worse and worse. Okay, Torres has got to come on the pitch, and Figal's got to go right back, and then we've got to get these guys off the bench as well to make some room. And obviously they can't be on the bench because not with us right now. They're on international duty. So I'm just going to put temporarily some people on the bench who aren't on international duty, and that might help us out a little bit. But again, we've got to sort of stick with this line that we've got. As much as I want to try and rotate things a little bit and actually showcase some other players and see how good the players can play, I'm just not that convinced at the moment that we can really... We'll put Heidemann on instead of a lower for this game, just to rotate them around, give Heidemann a game and a lower a little bit of a rest against New England. Other than that, there is not really a whole lot we can do. So, that's the lineup. That's what we've got to go for. Submit a team. Most of that team did pretty well against New York City FC, I've got to say. So, I do have faith in the boys. But at the same time, of course, rotating things quite a bit sometimes doesn't really work out. Your team today has been heavily impacted by international call-ups. Do you see that affecting the match? Well, we've got to look at it positively. It's a great opportunity for some players to step up and make an impression. That's what we're going to say there. As kick-off is upon us away to New England Revolution. And as a person who's not involved in the MLS or is an MLS fan or anything like that, as much as I try to get more into it, especially with this particular save, New England Revolution, what's the point in them? I just feel like they are just every year the worst team. Maybe that's a misconception, but I just feel like they are terrible every single season, as Pizarro nearly scores the opening goal of the game 30 seconds or so into it. New England, though, obviously I've just slagged them off, so it probably means that they're going to go and score 3 goals and beat us 3 or 4-0 now, as they look to come forward and score the first of those 3 or 4 goals, as the ball comes into the middle and is just put over the bar by Bo there from New England. Hopefully that's the last chance we'll see them have in today's game, as we reach 20 minutes into it, it's 0-0. We have massive amounts of possession, but we aren't making an impact, and we're not using that properly because we have only had 3 shots so far in today's game, and none of them have been on target yet, which is a little bit worrying, as Torres, on his debut for us today, clears the ball upfield, and it's not a great clearance that goes straight back to New England players as they look to build themselves a chance, fashion it out as Buttiger loses the ball. Kisavetta coming forward with the ball into the area, taking it on himself, hits the post. To be fair, Kisavetta, I wasn't sure about him at the start. But I've got to say, I think everything seems to go through him a lot more than Pizarro. All right, now Pizarro is playing as an inverted winger because that's what he wants to do, apparently. That's his favourite thing. But I might look to change Pizarro's positional traits and things. And what we're trying to say is his role. I'm trying to change his role. Is Carranza scores his 2nd goal of the season, getting on the end of a cross there from Ben Sweat, which is great to see. We go 1-0 up against New England. But Pizarro, considering he's our designated player, and he's meant to be the best player in the squad, I'm just not seeing enough from him at the moment. So, what does he actually like to do? He's got a reasonable left foot, but a very strong right foot. Maybe the inverted winger style just isn't working for him. Let's change him up to an inside forward for the rest of today's game on attack, and see if he can just do anything different, actually gets himself involved in the game a little bit more. Obviously, he has scored his 2 goals so far this season, which is great, but I want to see more from him. I want to see more of him in the games. New England came close from a chance there. Corner coming in. Torres clears that one out. And into Miami. We're into Miami. New England Revolution looking to get one back, but don't seem to do anything. As we approach half-time, 1-0 up. Massively in control of possession, but it's very even elsewhere on the stat front, which is a little worrying. You know, obviously we are giving New England too many chances when they're in possession. Defensively, we need to tighten up a little bit more. We're going to go to positive. I know we're winning, but I want to try and get another goal or two because I can feel a New England goal coming. So let's go up to positive and try and just grab a goal or two just to build some confidence and settle us down as Ben Sweat on the ball looks to put this one into the area. Kiesevetter's there, putting it just wide. Kiesevetter looks like he's picked up a knock at some point, so probably a good idea to take him off the pitch. Let's bring Pellegrini on that right-hand side. And in fact, let's pop him and Pizarro over. Pizarro, be a winger, all right, on that left-hand side. Pellegrini be the winger on the left-hand side. Pizarro on the right-hand side, sorry. Let's see if Pizarro plays any better on that right-hand side. Obviously prefers to be on the left as an inside forward, but with a left foot like that, surely he can put a good cross into the middle. We might have a penalty, though, apparently, according to the VAR, because the referee is going over the VAR. The free kick came in. There was a foul in there somewhere. Not quite sure what happened because I was too busy looking at Pizarro and discussing how good his left foot is. Referee, though, has decided to maybe given us a penalty. And Nguyen is stepping up to take it. Will he score his third penalty at his third chance? He steps up and he slots. He fired that home into the top corner. Third goal of the season for Lee. We go 2-0 up against New England. We stay on top of the Eastern Conference as well, which is great stuff. Huge penalty into the top corner. You love to see it. We are absolutely battering New England right now. I say battering. That seems like that's probably a bit too much. Battering will be us 5-0 up and they've had one shot to our a million shots. It's actually relatively even. We're slightly on top, if anything. So I'll turn it down a little bit. Changes, though, need to be made. And let's bring Ambrose on, right, for Ben Sweat. He played well, but looking a little tired. Let's bring him on, see what he can do out there. And Robinson. All right, Carranza scored, but Robinson, we might have to call on you if Delagard, what's he called? Agudelo. That's it, of course, Agudelo. I don't know why I got so confused with Delgado. Mark Delgado. He's a player that I had in my Minnesota save a long time ago on Football Manager. FM20, there's videos of that up still if you can bear yourself to find them. They're not very good videos because they're in the very, very early days of a TomFM channel and I wasn't very good, but we did a save with Minnesota United and Marky Delgado was a player that I had there and I seem to have got him confused with Agudelo for... They sound relatively similar, I suppose, in a way, but I've got those two guys confused. We are, though, 85 minutes into the game, 5 minutes away from time, in front of a 12,000 capacity crowd here at New England. Looks like we're going to pick up a clean sheet. Looks like we're going to pick up the 3 points as well. Ambrose gets a good interception there, but gives it straight back to the New England players who score a goal with 2 minutes to go. The clean sheet's gone. Hopefully the 3 points aren't gone, though. Hopefully New England don't come back and score another one. Hopefully we can grab one just to cement ourselves winning the game, getting 3 points. Crossing the middle, not the best. And Nguyen the ball loses possession, wins it back into trap, though. Pizarro playing on the right-hand side, loses possession. And it's this when it all falls apart. New England Revolution racing forward. Their man's free in the middle. And after, I suppose we do deserve it, don't we? We do deserve... Oh, it's going to VAR. Was he offside? He was offside. You love to see it. Fantastic stuff. That is great. Brilliant. We won 2-1 in the end. I was about to say, our luck is surely coming to an end right now because we have been extremely lucky in some fixtures when we've had late goals scored to win games or draw games, and it was about to come back and bite us there. But luckily for us, offside there from the New England striker. We win 2-1. Brilliant stuff. Passionately, well done, lads. Good win for us. Everyone's happy with that. Great stuff. Now, next up, we have DC United, but actually, I've just been reminded by my sister that I've got to go and take her to work. So we're going to call a close to the recording right now because I've got to go and take my sister to work. So, of course, I'll be back tomorrow for some more Inter Miami. We'll try and get through a good chunk of games. We've not done more than 3 games in an episode. I was kind of thinking we could do like 4 or 5 games in an episode. So, thinking about time restrictions, I think tomorrow might be a little bit more free for time-wise, so I might have to get through a good 4 or 5 games tomorrow, which should be quite good for you guys to watch as well. So look forward to that one. Thank you ever so much for watching today's video. I hope you have enjoyed it. And if you have done, please do drop a like on the video for me and subscribe to the channel if you're new around here. And I'll see you tomorrow. Have a good one. Goodbye.